So welcome to week 2 of the Fast Cash Challenge, and congratulations, yay! We made it to week 2 of the Fast Cash Challenge, which is so exciting. And as I said in the first video, this is an opportunity to jumpstart your thermostat, that money thermostat that keeps you very much at the same level over and over and over, and an opportunity to make more cash right now. Right now, not starting a business, not thinking about the dream job, all of those things. Because right now, it's important to start to take that thermostat and turn it up and get some cash now. So let's talk about that money thermostat for just a second. I started the conversation with it last week. It's a part of life. It truly is. Everyone has a money thermostat. Everybody. Without a question. Well, unless you've been practicing these principles and you've actually taken that off the roof, but it's a part of life. And so there's no judgment here about the fact that you have a money thermostat, because I have a money thermostat, you have a money thermostat. Mine was way down and now it's way up. So I'm going to show you how to get yours way up. But at the end of the day, it just exists. And getting stuck is just something that happens. No big deal. Start where you are. Don't judge, don't blame, don't shame, all of those things for you. It's just a matter of looking at where you are right now. And this doesn't mean that you can't adjust that thermostat upwards. You just need to be conscious about it. And to be completely transparent, these 3 weeks are not solely about making an extra $100, a minimum of $100, or anything along those lines, because it's really truly about cranking up that thermostat. So you'll consistently make the same amount or something similar to it, to what you're making right now, if you do not change the thermostat. I mean, that's just the way that it works. And it's okay because there's money stories behind it and a whole lot of other things. But I want to start just paying attention to where that money is coming from and how to make more of it to raise your thermostat. And you can make more money, but the circumstances and the results are going to always stay consistent. Even if you get a raise or you make more money, then you spend more money because you have this thermostat that says, I need to be at this level. So what we want to do is break that level by turning up that thermostat. So the real question is, would you like to make more and keep more? Because if you make more and you can't keep any more, then it's just that same thermostat. But this is an interesting phenomenon. When people are pushed into a crisis, they can actually instantly raise their thermostat. This is one of those interesting, crazy phenomenons. And imagine this scenario. Someone holds a loved one of yours hostage and demands $1 million. Right here, right now. You get a phone call and it says, I've got your grandma, your mom, your kid, your dog, and the only way you're going to get them back is to give them $1 million. Funny thing is, you'd find a way to get it. I guarantee you that. And if you didn't get it, you would probably die trying. But our motivation is not there when it comes to making a little bit more money or getting our thermostat up. So what we don't have is those crises happening in our lives all the time. So on a daily basis, you're not living in crisis. So what makes the difference between wanting it, saying you want it, and having it in your life? Well, it depends on you. Your current thermostat mindset and comfort level is where you feel safe and secure, and your ego wants to keep you there. But all too often, I want to have more money is what I hear people say. But the truth is that if you want something that you don't have, making a change is the only way to get it. Period. Boom. Like if that was all you got out of this, that's what you want to know, is that you have the ability to do all of this. Nobody else, nobody can make it happen for you. You have to make that shift and that change for you. So what do? Without that intense motivation, right? Nobody's holding a gun to your head. Your money thermostat is going to stay in control, and you're going to stay in your comfort zone, even if that's not where you say you truly want to be. Because saying it and doing something, action speaks, that whole phrase, action speaks louder than words. So let me share a personal example of my own journey. What I now fondly call my fast cash phase, even though that's not what I called it back then. So I've mentioned that I had cancer and found myself without a source of income. Actually, what ended up happening was I had no source of income, and my lovely dear mother said, "Honey, I think you reached the age where you could get your Social Security, my old age Social Security." And I went, "Oh my gosh." So that was a blessing, right? But I didn't have any other income, and I was relying on my little measly Social Security and food stamps. Seriously. And it could have been really devastating and hard. But what happened was, as little as that was, and I couldn't work in the traditional sense because I was going through cancer treatment, I was laid up. Literally, there were days that I couldn't stand up. But I needed a way to bring in some extra cash. Simple as that. And it was not a lot of cash, but I thought, God, I just need to get a little extra. Maybe I can buy something, buy the extra good creamer at the store instead of the kind that's the discounted generic version. And it was, I guess you could look at it, was a version of a crisis. But truly, what was staring me in the face, death was staring me in the face. But that causes you to make some really interesting choices, I assure you. So I started brainstorming about how I could get and generate some income. Because literally, I was very much bedridden. But this is what I'm asking you to do, is what can you do? What are you good at? And even if you're not particularly good at something, there's all kinds of other ways that you can bring some money in. So I began, literally, I look back at this and I think, oh my gosh, I realized right away it really was not the most productive thing I could do, but it was the only thing I could do. There are these things you can take, online surveys. They take a long time sometimes, and honest to God, some of them would pay $1. Someone would pay $5. I was over the moon if I could get into one that paid $10. I became a secret shopper. So it's a person that goes around to various businesses, and I secretly shopped there, which was hilarious. And I would earn $25 a visit. I had to take pictures and write a report. I even attempted to do Uber. And it was so cute because my car that I love so much, I had for 18 years because I buy them for cash. My car was too old to do Uber, but I tried Instacart, and I felt a little weak after, picking up other people's groceries. So after a while, I had to give that up. But I was willing to do whatever it took to get a little extra money. And that is the difference between deciding that you want to move forward, raise that thermostat, and creating that abundance. And what ended up happening was clearly I was expanding my money mindset. I knew it, but I didn't really consciously know it because I was sick. But I'd been severely affected by my illness. And yet I knew that I had this much, and I was parsing out every bit of it. I didn't feel deprived. I would shop very frugally, but I knew that the good was on the other side because I've done it before. I've created, I know what the principles are. So I invested at that point, I was using that money to invest in this online education to obtain my real estate license in Texas because I knew I was going there. And knowing each time I took a course, I was investing in my future because investing is really a key to creating more money. And we'll talk about that in another class. But all of these actions began to open up the channels for me to receive. And here I am, 5 years later, still open to new streams, because I look at new streams every day, new streams of revenue and income. And it all began with making $1 here and $5 there from an online survey. But here's the thing is, you can do this if you just take a moment to reflect on what it is that you can do. So the journey to financial growth is all about taking those small steps. I'm not saying go out there and make $1 million with the passionate dream job of your life. It's not about that. It's about building from here, where you are right now. And I know it can be challenging, literally, no pun, the fast cash challenge. It can be challenging, but it's intended to be challenging. And to begin something like this, When your mind screams at you, no, right? I can hear it right through the screen right now. I'm hearing no's, right? All humans, we don't want to do anything new. We don't like to make changes. That's how we're built. But making changes is the only way to grow. The only way to grow, to have more, to be more, to do more. And it seems hard. Why? Because your ego is saying, don't do it, it's safe over here. This won't work. I don't have any skills. I have nothing to sell. Oh my gosh, I've heard every version of it. Whatever your version is right now, write it down. So we can talk about that on another chapter. But the fact is that all of those voices in your head are going to scream no. And I'm telling you, yes. And you know what else? The universe, God, everything in this universe is telling you yes. Even if you do nothing in this course, even if you do nothing, if you don't make any money, you don't make any attempt, you are doing something. You're doing something during this challenge just by listening to these videos. Because the words are getting implanted, the ideas are getting implanted, and whether you use them now or you use them later, my voice is just going to haunt you because it's the truth. And I promise you, even if you don't do anything during this course, shift is happening right now as we speak. And the purpose of this Fast Cash Challenge is to kickstart, to get a little spark right under your, you know what, of your ability to generate cash right now without the need to have all of these reasons why you can't. So if I said, well, you want to start your dream business, you got to go down and you've got to get a business license, you got to do this and you got to do that, you got to learn how to do this. You would go, stop, I don't want to do any of that. Because we have analysis paralysis that keeps us from doing what it is that is pulling us in the vision of our dream. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to start a brand new business or think in those terms. What I want you to do is just begin to expand your mindset and turn up the thermostat in this simple little way that money consciousness will happen if you begin this process just a little tiny bit. So understanding your relationship with money starts with exploring your money story. We're going to talk about the money story in the next video, but I just really wanted to touch on it a little bit. Let's see if we can kind of touch on it so you can begin to percolate over it. You received a quiz in the, it's more of a statement and say yes or no, this is true or not true. I call it a quiz. And you got it in the first email and it is on the Facebook group. And the questions are there to allow you to gain insight into how this relationship functions, this relationship you have with money. So these questions are framed as if money were a person, because truly money is a relationship that you have, whether you know it or not, and it's just a form of energy. So these questions, as they're framed, say things like money allows me to laugh, play, and have as much fun as I want all the time. That's what a relationship, a great relationship is, whether it's with a child, a spouse, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker. That's the kind of relationships you want to have, right? You want to have fun with them all the time. Yes, there are going to be times when you're going to have disagreements and conversations, and the same thing applies with money. But if money's not expressing that way in your life, there's something to look at there. Another one of the statements is, I completely trust money to make me feel secure and supported, right? Wouldn't that be a relationship that you would love to have with another human being? Of course it would. And that's the kind of relationship you want to have with money, that you feel like it's constantly there and available to support you in everything that is your vision, your dream, your love, your excitement, your life. It's magic. But if it's not doing that, then what is keeping you? What are the blocks? What are the stops that's keeping you from that? And another one is, I have no problem communicating about money in all of my relationships. How many of you are thinking, well, I don't talk about money to anybody because my relationship with money is messed up. Well, any version of that. It's scarce. It's not making me happy. I'm angry at it. It's my money monster. Any of those versions of your money relationship is not giving you that opportunity to draw in like a magnet that money. So what do we do? Go through that list and look at those questions and begin to really see how your relationship with money is not where you want it to be. That doesn't mean we can't get it there. That's the beauty of this, is that's what we're striving to achieve. So if you find that you answered no to the majority of these questions, which unfortunately I find to be the case when people are starting on this journey, it's likely that your relationship with money is not as supportive and loving as it could be. Because that is how money is. It's an energy form. It's like electricity. It's like gravity. It's a universal law. And if we don't use it correctly and we don't understand it, then we won't have a great relationship with it. So remember, money is simply this energy. And this is where the real work begins. So reflect on these statements and identify where you encounter the most difficulty. Because right now we can't work on every single one of them, but just pick out 3 or 4 of them where you feel like those are absolutely big no's. And then next week when we go through your money story, we'll begin to unravel why that is. Because this self-awareness, that's all this is just awareness, is crucial to your journey of understanding your true feelings about money. Because you have feelings about money, you just haven't identified them any time in the past because nobody said you're in a relationship with money. Oh my gosh, you are in a relationship with money. And what does that relationship look like? Because we could probably look at a lot of relationships that we have friends that are in and you go, whoa, that's not a relationship that I would ever want. Right? It's abusive, it's not kind, it's shameful, all of the things, right? We know what a bad relationship is. Well, that's what we want to do, is reflect back on how you can heal your relationship around money. So after watching this video, I want you to take some time to contemplate what's arising within you in response to these statements. I want you to journal about this right after this video, if you can do it, because that's where this is beginning to percolate. And as I'm talking, things are coming up for you. And as you read those statements and you say, oh, that's not close, that's not close, that's not close, I want you to begin to notice that. But I want you to journal what feelings came up, what things and ideas are showing up for you that you say all of the time, that you experience when you have these conversations about money. And even the thought of making fast cash right now may be triggering these certain emotions. Believe me, this process, as simple as it sounds, is so deep and so magical. And you may not even realize how magical it is till weeks from now. But I can assure you, if you just go down this path and you begin to do these things, magic happens, truly. So this is precisely why this fast cash challenge is valuable. It helps you reveal the blocks that are holding you back. Revealing the blocks is not the same as moving through them. We'll talk about that and how some of those things you can do, but it's just giving you this much easier way to remove them if you can actually identify them. But right now, beginning to turn the thermostat up is going to push through those blocks just a little tiny bit, even if we're just moving them so that you can see daylight through them. So even if you don't take major actions during these next 3 weeks, as I said, things are going to come up, percolate, things are going to start to morph and move in you, but you're still doing something significant. Just by being here, by listening to this video, you are making shifts in your life. I promise you. And I'm telling you, I've had people only watch 1 or 2 of these videos and a year later say, oh my gosh, you cannot believe what's happened in my life. So you may want to go deeper quicker, or you may just let it percolate. It's not my story. It's not my path, but I want you to know that you right now are challenging your existing beliefs just by watching this video and understanding why you might be hesitant to take those next steps is where the key is. That's where the juice is. That's where the meat is. So exploring how you can further develop new ideas or products or services if you decide to build a company, or you use those ideas to create some fast cash, is just, it's just icing on the cake. So This process is a vital step towards enhancing your relationship with money, I promise you, and achieving your financial goals. So we're going to talk about goals at the end of next week, but I want to just begin to prime you, prime the pump for you to begin to look at your beliefs that are always the things that are keeping you stuck. Really, that's all that ever keeps us stuck are these beliefs, and they only live right here. Here's a news flash. They're not reality. They are beliefs that have been based on experiences that we've had. And then we keep repeating the pattern over and over and over. So now I'm here to tell you, I have a magic wand, and I'm creating merch regarding this magic wand because I've decided I'm calling myself the Queen of Magic, because you all have the magic inside of you. It's right here. All you have to do is take that magic wand and create whatever you want. But it's those things right here that are getting in your way. So this fast cash challenge is a way to help you break free from these beliefs just a little tiny bit and create something to make cash from right now. So I want you to begin to think about some of these questions. Consider your existing skill set, because we all have things that we can do. I'm going to give you a sort of a primer and some ideas, but you all have a skill set, what you're good at. No matter what you think about all of the things you're not good at, you have things that you're really good at. So think about how you can leverage those talents to create immediate cash. And if your first reaction that your mind is wanting to say no is, well, I couldn't possibly charge for that. I'm here to tell you that you can, because what you're good at, somebody else isn't. 100%. What you're good at, somebody else is not, and they could use you. So imagine this. You were just dropped off somewhere in the country, the United States or the world, it doesn't matter. What skills would you have that you could earn money within a week? Within a week. You all have something, but once again, that's putting you in that crisis situation. What happens is we get so comfortable and we get so lulled into really asleep that we don't think of all of the amazing creative things that we can do and the ideas that can go through this brain of ours. But this challenge is about quick cash. It's not about, as I said, pursuing your dream job or long-term goals. We'll dive into all of that in another course, but a great show. So if you want to get some inspiration, there's a great show to watch, and they produced it many years ago, but it's called Undercover Millionaire. And this show follows a billionaire named Glenn Stearns. He's the founder of Stearns Lending, but he attempts to start $1 million business in Erie, Pennsylvania over the course of only 90 days. Now, you would say, oh, well, he's a billionaire. He could do that. But you know what? He starts with only $100, a car, and a tank of gas. That's it. He's dropped off into Erie, Pennsylvania with only those things, and nobody knows who he is. But he already knows the principles, just like we've talked about, and his thermostat is way up here. So he begins to do things similar to the survey things and what I was sharing earlier, selling tires, going to find old tires and selling tires. I mean, it's a great, great show. So if you have a chance, it's on Hulu. But why could he do this? He knows these principles. And even though he did not call it Fast Cash Challenge, he was doing exactly what this little 3-week course teaches. He was making fast cash. And what he did was he took the cash that he made and then he invested it, and then he built and he built and he built and he built. So it's a whole great series, and I invite you to watch it because it's fabulous. But whether you're employed or run your own business right now, you're likely not fully utilizing all of your skills. This is what's so amazing, is we all have these amazing skills. We have these amazing talents. And after this video, I want you to make a list. And I want you to be really clear about the things that you're currently doing. So some of those things are the responsibilities that you currently have at your job or your business. And you know, one of the things is that we don't pay attention to the skill set that we already have because we're just doing it every day. So what are you doing? The specific tasks that you're doing with respect to your job. Are you expressing leadership? Are you doing filing? Are you sorting? Other tasks that you do at your job or in life because you enjoy or feel compelled to do them. there's so many things in the world that we do that we're not paying attention to, that they could generate additional cash in our life. And even if you're doing things that they're not your responsibility, you can see other people do them and you know how to do them. One of the things that I find fascinating is that you also do these tasks at home that you do really well and you love. For instance, I'm not a big fan of, I love to cook, but I don't like to cook every single day. I don't like to do laundry. I don't like to clean out my trash bin, the big one that goes outside. I don't like to garden. I don't like to water. I do those things, but if I had somebody say, I would do those for you, here you go. I would pay for it because they're things that I don't enjoy. Maybe you're the best pie maker on the planet, but if you're doing things in your spare time that you are really good at, and you begin to look that, oh my gosh, other people could be served with what I do. Or you create something, you paint, you can do a logo, you can do a website. There's so many things that you're not even thinking about that you can tap into. So take the time to create this list and all of these possibilities, and then I want you to reflect on it. You can even, use ChatGPT and AI and say, if I can do this, what would that translate into something that somebody might want to purchase? I'm telling you, AI is my favorite little toy. But the thing is that what you want to do is break free of these mental limitations that are keeping you stuck right here with this thermostat so that you can blow the lid off of it. And they're only there being self-imposed by you. So all of these tasks that you could be thinking of, that you're skilled at, that might take for granted, other people absolutely want and would pay money for. And as I said, I'm not asking you to make literally more than $100 in the next 3 weeks. That's what, $33 a week in these 3 weeks, just so you can begin to push through. That's all this is about. It's about getting that little opening for your money mindset. Now, if you blow the roof off of it, yay, let's put that in the Facebook group because I want you to be an inspiration for other people. But let's say, you are the management at a company, or you do sales really well. You can teach other people how to do that. The thing is that you have so many skill sets. Training is such an amazing opportunity in the world right now because so many people don't know how to do things that you take for granted. So just because you've never thought about it before, think about it now. Maybe you're a high school coach, you're a teacher, but you're really good at tutoring. So take that experience, and it only takes a couple of students to make that $100 that we're talking about. I want you to just do this to break through the thermostat barrier. That's what this is about. This isn't necessarily going to be a long-term project. Maybe it will be. Maybe you are good at tennis or bowling or any of those things that you can teach somebody how to do it. And then what you want to do is tap into whatever these are. Maybe you make great tiramisu. I don't know. But the thing is you have something. Charge $5, charge $10. I'm not asking you to oversell yourself right now. This is just baby steps to get to this next place. So this challenge isn't about building the $1 million business, as I've said. It's becoming more courageous, resourceful, having initiative. It's an opportunity to break free from your mental conditioning and start exploring how you can expand your financial horizons. The things that scare us the most are the things that are going to give us the biggest reward. It really is high risk, high reward. But let's approach it from this perspective. You've expressed you have a desire for more money, and you've tried methods like vision boards, which I'm not poo-pooing vision boards, but they are not the end-all be-all, and I'm going to explain in another course why they work. Affirmations, they're great, but they only work under certain circumstances. Or working tirelessly hard to make money. You don't have to do any of that because those unconscious beliefs that you're holding are like invisible barriers that keep you stuck. It's as if money has taken on the role of an internal monster for you, and it's hindering you from achieving your dreams. So let's turn the light on under the bed where the monsters live, because here's the truth. Those dreams have nothing to do with money, absolutely nothing. It's crucial to recognize these patterns and uncover the unconscious anger towards money. Only then can you truly transform your relationship with it. So choosing to play this fast cash challenge is just you telling your money monster, or all of that blockage, that your unconscious mind, your preset thermostat, I am taking the wheel and I'm making a change. So lots of things you can do this week, but I just want you to really begin to pay attention to your relationship with money as we go forward, because the more you look, the more you reveal, the more you will see it's all just right here. And that can be released right here. So, as I always say, y'all come back now and we'll see you next week. Be sure to post on the Facebook group and share about your success.